welcome out to the Nerd Effect Podcast. We are on episode 36.
Sure,
Okay.
sounds good.
Fuck.
Podcast entering middle age soonish.
Probably should have checked that beforehand.
Yeah, it's okay. We're on the next one.
We're on to the
Preparedness
next
is for
one.
Boy Scouts and suckers.
Huh?
Preparedness is for Boy Scouts and suckers.
Oh.
Are you a sucker?
I ain't no sucker.
Are
You a Boy Scout?
Not that I know of.
Then you don't need to be prepared.
See?
Nice. All right. Really weird start to the show. Anyway, I am one of your hosts, Dustin Van Court, and I'm joined by my buddies.
Macca Morgan.
Mason, Ireland.
Nikki Brindle.
Yay!
I don't think that was our weirdest start, by the way.
No, probably not.
No, oh, yeah.
No.
Not by a long shot.
No. Actually, if you want to see our weirdest start, you should go watch our video on YouTube announcing our involvement with Fandemonium this year,
Yes.
which we are
What?
super excited about. See, Nikki was so excited she had to choke on herself.
Yes.
I'm not even drinking anything. It was air and excitement.
You choked on the excitement.
It's tangible.
That's what she said.
So we'll put the link to the YouTube. In fact, we'll probably just put the YouTube video in our post, so you guys can go
Write
watch it
notes.
again. But if you haven't seen the YouTube video yet, we'll go ahead and announce it here as well. So one of our big announcements this year is that we are involved in Fandemonium, which will be at the Boise Center on the Grove, which we found out was not on Main.
Yes.
It's actually on the corner of Capitol and Front Street, or Myrtle. Yeah, it's not on Myrtle either. So Capitol and Front.
Right.
Mason and I in the video we're like, it's on Capitol or Main or?
I don't know. It's just downtown. I barely
It's
remember.
the Grove.
It's the Grove.
There's
Yeah.
It's where the hockey happens.
Yeah.
And the fountain.
Well,
And Live After 5.
when it comes to stuff in downtown, it's downtown to me, and I just know where it's at downtown. I don't think about it's on 8th or Main, or it's just downtown.
I know how to get places. If you ask me what street they're on, no.
Actual address of the Grove Hotel, 265 South Capitol Boulevard. You'll find it. It's
Thanks,
big.
Google.
You can't miss it. So we hope to see you there, or at least they hope to see you there. Again,
And
that's
remember, you got to come by, and we got to be entertaining, and we got to tweet some pictures and stuff for Dustin, so we can keep him jealous all weekend.
actually I'll just be fucking happy the whole time because I'll be like, oh, they're having fun.
We need to make a cardboard cutout of you.
Yeah, get one of the cardboard cutouts. Yeah,
No,
we-
this is... Can we do that?
yeah,
I
we
have
could
a
totally
printer.
do that.
Lol.
We do like a mini Dustin, kind of like they do Paper Larry
No,
for
I'm
Channel
talking
7.
full-size cardboard cutout Dustin.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
you
just
could totally do
cut
that.
up the picture and
That's
into
creepy
sections.
as fuck.
Exactly.
And then we'll occasionally just put it standing outside your window at night.
Oh, we can pose at places? Oh, it'd be so fun.
Yeah,
Cardboard Dustin could go on adventures at the con.
Oh, that would be amazing.
okay, we got to work on this.
Yep.
Oh, it's happening.
Write that down.
Oh, I'm on it.
I don't know how you guys are going to print something that big, but
Kinkos.
Hashtag cardboard Dustin.
Kinko's will do cardboard cutouts.
They can print something big and we can get boxes at the liquor store.
I can get boxes at work that are bigger than liquor store boxes,
See?
so
There
we're
we
good.
go.
Yeah.
We can get cardboard. Foam core might be better.
Foam core would be better.
And we can go to Kinko's. We have foam core and duct tape at the dollar store.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just use that clear packaging tape. That'll do good.
Yeah.
It peels. I like duct tape. Also, you want it to look as ghetto and ridiculous as possible.
Oh, okay, she's
Oh,
right.
yeah, okay. Yeah, gotta go duct tape then.
Make sure you get the designer duct tape.
Mario duct tape.
Mario duct tape. They have
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles duct tape too.
Yes.
And pink duct tape, pink camouflage duct tape.
I
Yes.
have pink at my house.
Oh. All right.
They have Justin Bieber duct tape too.
I know.
That does not happen. I'm sorry.
And what's that other band? The British one?
Oh, One Direction.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. What, that guy?
There's
It's
just
a
the
group.
one that everyone cares about, right? The one with that swooshy hair.
You just described every boy band ever.
Yeah, I did, didn't
The one with the swooshy hair, except for Justin Timberlake. He was like curly as fuck. At
yeah,
least back in the day.
He's still curly as fuck.
That's kind of wavy now.
it's because he styles it.
Yeah.
It doesn't get perms anymore.
No.
I had a perm once. I can't believe I just admitted that on air.
It is forever on the internet now.
Damn it. I destroyed all pictures, it's fine.
There's no actual evidence.
No, I could be lying. I dyed it red at the same time. I wanted to be Irish, apparently.
I'm pretty sure in a court
Being Irish is good. I have to
I-
admit that.
in a court of law, though, is a confession just as good as evidence?
I said I might be lying. It's not really a confession. I just made a statement that might or might not be true.
Whenever you interject the statement might or might not be true, it means it's true.
Prove it.
What's your mom's number? We can call her. She'll probably have a picture of it.
My
somewhere.
mom would murder you, and then me if I gave you. Also, she's up in Stanley. So there's that. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
I'm sure we can get a hold of your brother.
Oh, I'm sure he's got plenty of blackmail, right?
I think I might have as much on him, so,
Oh,
you know,
touche.
siblings.
Yeah.
We just out them both on the air.
There we go.
I'm already out.
Not that guy.
Not that guy.
See,
Hey!
Ew. Oh, God.
All right. Well, let's get on with our topic. We are here.
I'm preventing sneeze. Go ahead.
Mason's, not Mason.
Say watermelon.
Mike looks like a cork about to pop.
Say watermelon.
Watermelon.
Do you still have to sneeze?
Not as much.
Yeah, what? Also,
Go
push your
ahead.
tongue up against your
What?
mouth.
Oh, I'm not continuing until you explain how the hell watermelon works without
I
sneezing.
don't fucking know. It distracts you or some shit.
Oh.
It just works. Sometimes it works for hiccups too. Sometimes.
Oh.
Somebody else has to tell you because you have that moment where you're like, wait, what? And I think that's what makes
Oh,
you
it
not have
distracts
to
you from the
sneeze.
sneeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready to rock. Let's go.
Excellent. Okay. So this week we are here to talk.
About sneezing. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're here to talk E3, video games, and all the awesomeness.
The Electronics Entertainment Exposition. For those of you that don't know what the 3 E's mean.
Yes.
And 2014, in case you're some time off in the distant future listening to our show.
Or the past.
Just, make sure people aren't confused.
Oh, if people are listening to this in the past.
That would take talent.
Yeah.
Hey, if we've got warp drives, there's wormholes and Star Trek plot devices everywhere.
Hopefully not.
Green boobs.
Just
Okay,
don't
go.
wear a red shirt into space if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a red shirt. In
I
space.
rewatched the newer of the Star Trek movies and didn't catch the red shirt joke the first time around.
Oh.
Laughed my ass off. Totally unexpected. Thought that was great. There's 2 guys in red shirts. He's like, go change your shirts. This is great.
So,
Video
E3
games.
general impressions.
So we're just gonna
Or-
bounce off each other pretty much this entire episode. We really have no aim for it, but we're just pretty much gonna sit here and go ooh
Talking
and then go what the fuck and then other things.
Shiny thing rant.
Yep.
Shiny thing.
Shiny thing.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
I'll
who wants to
call them.
start?
Say, my
I think-
favorite overall theme for this E3 was one word, and it was said by Sony, by Microsoft, by Ubisoft, by EA, by Nintendo. It was a word everybody is finally learning in the video game industry, or relearning in the video game industry. Co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like playing, like, deathmatch, first-person shooters or whatever and stuff like that against people, but also, I like playing games with my friends. I like having that social interaction, be it at a LAN party, be it, online, with, people, but having that interaction with other players, with my friends, playing the same game, and experiencing the game together is like something I really enjoy. So I'm really happy that the word co-op showed up as often as it did at E3 this year.
Mm-hmm. Playing off the co-op thing. I'm going to start off our little games here thing.
Yeah.
So, there's a game that I've been hearing about, saw some trailers for and stuff that I just really didn't have that much interest in. It's like, oh yeah, it looks pretty and everything, first-person shooter, yeah, and all that. But I was just kind of like, it's a first-person shooter. After watching all the E3 footage, came to find that Evolve is actually pretty damn cool.
Oh, that
Yeah.
did look really cool.
Evolve looks sick. It's from the
Yeah.
same guys who did Left 4 Dead,
Yep.
which
But the whole concept of you got a team of 4 players going up against another player playing a monster.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. Also, like, that's another thing that, like, Evolve did this, and so did Fable Legends with their Mastermind, versus the 4 heroes, is non-equal multiplayer, where you have, like, the monster is obviously in Evolve going to be way more powerful than any individual hero.
right.
You know, you have to work as a team, the 4 of you together.
And those 4 team members can choose from different classes
Yes.
as well, which is kind of cool, like a trapper and a
Yeah.
hunter. And
Yeah, everybody has a role. Everybody has to do their role. If you don't have everybody doing their role and working together,
The
you're
monster
not
was
going
going
to beat the monster.
Right. And, you know, the monster is incredibly powerful to balance out, you know, to give it a semblance of balance. It's not equal, but it's balanced multiplayer, which I think is a really interesting idea. You know, because, you know, things don't have to be balanced to be fun. Things have to be equal, an equal level playing field to be fun, you know. And even sometimes an equal playing field isn't necessarily fun. Sometimes fighting the uphill battle is fun. So,
Yeah, I love the concept of playing the monster and going out and you run around killing critters, eating them, so you can
evolve.
and power up. And the other team's just trying to get, you know, basically tag you and bag you as quickly as possible before you evolve too much.
Yeah.
And then you're like the play demo they had on there. The monster goes off, he starts eating speed things, runs around, does tracks that the players are following, and he goes and loops around and hides underneath this like bridge or something,
Yeah.
and just waits for one of the guys to come by and then just jump and noms on them.
Yeah.
It's just, man, that's gonna be fun.
Okay, who here would only ever want to play the monster? Me.
Okay, I'd want to play both sides.
I
of
would
this.
I
only
would
want to
give
be the
you-
monster. Chomping on my friends would be fun.
nom.
Nom
Nom, nom, nom.
The larger monster they showed in the trailer looked a lot like the monster from oh hell, help me out. The one that looked like it was shot with like a digital camcorder. It was supposed to be like the next Godzilla. Cloverfield. Yeah,
Oh.
It kind of looked like the Cloverfield monster.
There was one that I saw that was like, it made me think of a xenomorph from Aliens with a Cthulhu head.
Yeah.
Well, like,
The one with the 4 eyes.
wait, it's a xenomorph. No, it's got a face like Cthulhu. What the hell?
Yeah. I thought that one, like, when they introduced that one, it's cool because it has the 2 eyes open. You can't,
Oh, and
it's
then
starting to come in shape and then the other 2 eyes underneath pop open. I was like, that was cool. That was a great, whoever thought of doing that for the visual was smart.
I hope that guy got a raise.
Yeah. So yeah.
One of the trailers that caught my attention was because I had a really good laugh with it was Dead Island 2.
Yeah.
There was no actual gameplay footage, at least not that I saw.
No, there wasn't any game.
But
footage.
it was mostly an announcement trailer, and it starts off the first Dead Island trailer. If you ever saw the first Dead Island trailer, it blew people's minds because it was basically played in slow motion in reverse, and it was super serious.
Yeah.
This time around, they went completely the other friggin' direction, and so this time, I think it takes place in like California, coastal California.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
And it starts off with a runner. He's like kind of doing his little warm up jogs and kind of pointing at people like he's like some rich dude. And then
he's a douche master either way.
yeah, he's just a raging douchebag, you can tell. Or at least he plays the role.
Yeah.
And it cuts to a scene of him checking his watch, and then he's got a bite mark on his wrist that he covers up with a sweatband, and then he just starts jogging down the street. He's-
With his iPad. Or
oh yeah,
iPod.
with his iPod on his arm,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. So,
anybody does that, but
Yeah, as a,
no, it was just funny because he had his iPod and he had
Oh, so he
music on,
couldn't hear anything either, yeah.
yeah.
So he's running down like boardwalk or whatever, and shit's just happening around him. Like he passes a chick on skates in a bikini, kind of gives her the snapping point as he runs by her or whatever, and then like immediately some
And
dude,
she flips him off. If I remember
yeah,
correctly.
does something crazy, and then some dude from behind him just tackles this chick to the ground, starts nomming on her.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah, and then And so he's still running, but he's totally oblivious to whatever just happened. And then like some other dude comes out of a shop, and he's like pumping lead into zombies, just boom, boom with a shotgun. Guy has again completely oblivious to it. And then I think there was a car wreck that happens behind him.
Yeah.
Like, comes within like feet from hitting him or something like that. Doesn't notice it, but then I think that was about the point where he starts to turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
And then it even gets funnier from there because his toupee flies off his head,
Yeah.
and then something happens. I can't remember the rest of
Well,
the trailer.
then
he
the
becomes a
van-
zombie, and then the van comes and kills the zombies, and the guy steals his shoes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
The guy's getting out of the van. He's like, "Oh, sweet."
He's like, "Oh snap!" Yeah, some sweet new running shoes.
Oh man.
So Dead Island 2. The thing is, I never played the first one, and I wish I would have, but I only heard it got mediocre reviews.
Well,
Like,
that's
it
the
was
thing.
either really good or really kind of
Yeah, that's the thing is like Dead Island, from everything I've heard, was really kind of a meh game. It was the original one. I think was part of it was it was trying too hard to be another serious zombie survival game when there were way too many zombie survival games. Okay, there's still way too many zombie survival games.
No such thing.
I'm with Vicky on that one. There's no such thing.
Whereas Dead Island 2, if they're going for funny, if they keep going with the all-out crazy funny, they could have an actual hit on their hands.
Okay, before we continue with that concept, I'm going to bring up Dead Rising 3 because Dead Rising 3 has the funny already.
Yeah.
Which I was really
The DLC thing for it where you can play as, where you can cosplay.
I think so. Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
But I mean, well, just the
The over the top weapons.
yeah,
and
the
stuff
over the top
from Dead
weapons
Rising.
and
yeah.
the quotes and like the one-liners and stuff like that are all definitely built into Dead Rising already
Yeah.
as kind of a funny thing. I guess it would be a different concept because it's done from a first-person perspective versus
A third person.
versus a third person.
Yeah.
But so speaking of Dead Rising 3, I was really surprised that from what I saw that it was going to be PC exclusive first, which about kind of melted my brain a little. That was totally an Xbox thing back when it first came out.
Well, there's the DLC which dropped on the 9th. That was
for Dead Rising 2, no?
No, Dead Rising 3.
Oh.
Dead Rising 1
am I
and 2
missing?
were both 360 games.
Right.
Dead Rising 3 was a Xbox One launch.
Yeah, and it was like a big Capcom joke. It was like
Yeah.
super ultra mega Super Street Fighter.
So it was like super ultra mega Dead Rising 3 EX plus alpha.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It was like this big Street Fighter joke.
Yeah. For the 31st anniversary of, that's an intentional mispronunciation of 31st for any of you out there who don't get the joke. For Capcom's 31st anniversary, yeah. So. But yeah, you can cosplay as characters from other Capcom games.
Nice.
Just running around as Mega Man blowing up zombies.
That would be fun.
And like, you can actually crossplay and it doesn't change your character's gender. It's like, you pick one of the characters that's a dude. You can crossplay as like Felicia from Darkstalkers,
But as a dude.
But you're just a dude.
but you're a dude in a Felicia costume.
That's awesome.
So you're actually crossplaying.
It's disturbing.
Oh wow,
Hilarious, you mean?
that would be epic.
That would be so fun.
So yeah.
Nikki, you want to bring one up?
I thought No Man's Sky looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Agree.
Just the concept and the extent of it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Plus, dinosaurs and spaceships.
Yeah.
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 I missed this one, apparently.
No Man's Sky, it's a indie developer who made it, and basically you start off on a planet, your own planet. All the worlds are procedurally generated, so no two people have the same starting experience or have the same experience basically at all in the game, unless you're with someone at the same time. And like the way the game starts out, the demo starts out as excuse me. They show a guy walking out of a cave. Yeah, it's first-person shooter type, first-person perspective. Walks out of a cave, starts seeing, it shows him discovering the cave, shows him discovering different types of animals, like up to like these big brontosaurus-looking things, like basically an elk. And then some spaceships fly over his head, and he's, looking around a little bit more, passes by his ship, and then this thing that's like about 4 or 5 times the size of one of the brontosauruses comes out and starts trying to nom brontosaurus in front of him, and he like runs and hightails it and gets in a ship and flies off. And then there's like a space battle going on up in the out of the atmosphere that he joins in. And
just for visual, Dustin's jaws kind of dropped right now.
yeah,
I'm chewing on my piercing a little bit.
and it's a cool looking game. Like,
And there's infinite worlds to explore, is what they said.
yeah, it's procedural generation.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Interesting.
it's a sandbox game.
Yeah,
So there's no quests, no go find the princess or anything like that. It's literally
not even go to kill 10 rats.
you literally go out and do whatever the hell you want.
So
If
it's
you want to
not-
go big game hunting and shoot dinosaurs, you can do that. If you want to go up and be a space pirate and take out freighters and loot them, you can do that. You want to run around and mine stuff, you can do that.
So they don't have missions in it at all?
Nope.
Nope.
I love those kind of games.
Interesting.
You can upgrade your ship.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
persistent online from what I can gather. So, like, once the world's procedurally generated, it's plopped into the universe and it stays in its position, basically. Mm-hmm. So,
Is this going to be a console game or just a
it's
PC? Or?
it's a Sony game. It's PS4 only,
Holy balls.
Right? I already
and
wanted
it's
a
a
PS4 now.
it's a DLC.
Yeah.
It's a downloadable title,
Interesting.
and it's available next week, I think. So.
Cool.
Yeah, but
And it's by an indie developer, and like one of the amazing things is like halfway through development of the game, their office is flooded and they lost everything. And then they spent that was like 6 years ago, and then they spent the last 4 years rebuilding the game completely.
Ouch.
Yeah. Especially enough with an indie developer's budget.
it looks amazing. I think they're going to do
I'm
really
hoping
well.
it does well for him and
Yeah, so do I.
get some dollars out of it.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's somewhat stylized. It's not like ultra crisp, super we are next gen graphics, but it's kind of like almost a painted style in some ways. It's not like hand painted individual all pixels. Obviously, it's being procedurally generated, but it has that painted kind of look to it.
Well, they kind of need it on next gen for the way they go from being in space to just going down to the planet.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean, yeah, there's no like cutscene going from orbit to
Yeah, you
on
just-
the planet.
fly into the atmosphere.
Yeah. So you're seeing the terrain and you're flying down into it, and you can still see the terrain and everything as you're going down. And,
But if you wanted to, you could leave that world and go to another
yeah,
one.
and you just
Yep.
go off and you're in space and doing stuff in
Take a
space, and
direction
you go
and
over
fly
to another
in it.
planet and down you go. Bam.
Yeah,
Intriguing.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If they can really deliver on that, on their promises of, the procedural generation and basically making the universe infinite, is going to be awesome. I mean, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it looks like it's just going to be an awesome game if they can really do that.
Mason, what do you got?
I'm gonna skip off of Sony exclusives. Let's see. I think I'll do some Ubisoft news.
Okay.
Well, I want to go through all of my Ubisoft news though, because like Ubi is one of my favorite companies, except for a little screw up in their case. Actually, I will go for Assassin's Creed Unity here to start with. Okay, Assassin's Creed Unity looks amazing.
Agree.
And you can actually form your own brotherhood and go on co-op missions together now. Which is cool. Which I think is great. Plus, like when they were in brotherhood mode, one person was Renault, I think his name, but the main assassin that they
Base the story on.
based the main story on. But the other 3 assassins were different. One of them carried a big old axe, like wood axe, basically a splitting axe. One guy carried a spear. They were, and then the one in green looked cool, but I don't really see what his signature weapon was. But the assassins were different. And it looked really cool. And like the way it was like that clean in and out of games that they can do nowadays. The one problem with it was that they were promising female assassins originally for Unity. And then they took out the female assassins.
Oh, I don't like that.
And this was the exact wrong Assassin's Creed to do that in. Because Unity takes place during the French Revolution. The most famous assassins from the French Revolution and the most successful assassins from the French Revolution were all women.
Damn Skippy.
So this is the game where they should have had, like, I know they did the female protagonist in Liberation, but Liberation was kind of a semi-short side story game. This is like, I think they should have done a main lead female assassin in Unity because of the prominence of female assassins in revolutionary France. However, the cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World they had played during the Assassin's Creed Unity trailer at Ubisoft's press conference. I need to have this as a full copy of the song because it was just amazing. I'm just going to put that. It was a really
what was it? Because I'm trying to remember.
It was this
like kind of an
eerie, slow female singer singing it. It definitely was way different than Tears for Fears. But it was just an amazing cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I really need a full copy of it. But I can't say I don't want to play Assassin's Creed Unity because of the no female assassins thing, but it leaves a sour taste in my mouth considering they were originally planning on having female assassins in and then cut them out.
Maybe they plan on adding them as a DLC later?
That would be a real douchey move at this point. If they do it as a DLC, it better be a free DLC. Just because of what happened. So, yeah.
Okay. So, I did see a video with an interview with like one of the developers or something like that. And they explained that in multiplayer mode, basically from everybody who's playing's point of view, they're the main guy.
Oh, okay.
But they'll just see looks like other characters, but everybody else, basically from their point of view, they're playing the main guy. But there's a lot of customizations, so that's why you got, like, one of them has an axe, one of them has a small blade,
right?
And those different variations, because you do have the option to specialize and go different routes.
Oh, okay, sweet. I'm totally assassinating people with a spear then. That guy looked badass. But, yeah. So
it was kind of funny watching the interview, and the guy's like, the developer guy just basically was saying, so it's going to be in the French Revolution, it's going to be like, before the Eiffel Tower and all that was made, and I don't think the interviewer guy was paying attention and just heard Eiffel Tower, and he's like, oh yeah, that would be the best sync-up point ever, going to the top of the Eiffel Tower, and, well, yeah, but it hasn't been built yet.
The Eiffel Tower is still 100 years off, actually.
Yeah. So it was just funny, because...
but you do have the Arc de Triomphe, so...
Yeah, they got a lot of the French landmarks.
Yeah.
Or Paris landmarks for that time.
Yeah.
That are in the game. So
yeah. Honestly, I have to say there is one I'm hoping I get to do because I'm not 100% up on my French Revolution history. I know the gist of it, but I'm really hoping that I get to kill Robespierre because dude was a douche. And the thing is like they talk about how the king was bad at the beginning of Unity. If you actually dig into the actual history of the French Revolution, King Louis wasn't actually that bad of a guy. He was actually trying to make democratic changes to the government of France and trying to make it so the peasant class wasn't as downtrodden as they were. There happened to be a famine at the same time, and he couldn't get his stuff to go through, so he got killed. But he was actually trying to work to limit his own power. So he wasn't actually the douche that popular history makes him out to be. And then there was a revolutionary named Robespierre. Everything that they said bad about King Louis, Robespierre did in spades. But so I really hope I get to kill Robespierre.
I'm actually feeling that they probably will on that one.
Yeah.
Everything I know about the French Revolution I learned from Les Mis, so...
And that was a crappy failed side revolution, actually.
So what else you got in your Ubisoft box?
My Ubisoft box, The Crew.
Okay.
I think I'm the only person around this table that actually likes driving games.
Yeah. Burnout. I like Burnout.
Okay,
See, I like arcade style drivers.
Okay, I like the hyper realistic GT drivers,
no.
Gran Turismo
The
drivers.
only driving game that made any interest to me at all was Mad Max.
Okay, but The Crew, like the entire United States is the map. And they accelerate certain parts of it, so you don't have to like drive through Kansas. But
So much corn.
yeah, but like it is gorgeous looking. You can, and part of the reason it's called The Crew is that you can form racing crews, so you can join up and like compete as multiple person teams against other multiple person teams. So like you can, do like rally stuff, like basically using, you can have, if you're in the lead, if you had a couple of your guys' cars in the lead, 2 and 3 can sacrifice their times to prevent your opponents from catching number 1 and stuff like that. So I think it'll be an interesting racing game. Of course, like I said, I'm the only one here who likes racing games, and also it's freaking gorgeous. It's Gran Turismo 5, Forza 5, The Crew, Forza Horizon 2. Like it's getting hard to tell that these are games and not footage of cars. They're getting really, really good at modeling cars in video games nowadays.
Like even the internal, like if you're driving first person,
Like the insides of the cars are
console
hyper
looks-
accurate.
yeah.
Yeah. And like even in Watch Dogs, which isn't a driving game, it's mostly a third person cover shooter, admittedly, but I still enjoy it. Which is rare because I usually hate third person shooters. Maybe it's just the themes going on in the game, but like the cars in that, none of them are real cars, but you can tell exactly what make and model of a car they're supposed to be.
Oh, kind of like in
Kind of like in GTA.
GTA, yeah.
Yeah. But like, even when you go into first person of those, the cars are hyper detailed. Like, these look like real dashboards.
Yeah, but if you crash and you still have boost left, can you blow up and take out other people?
No.
Because you can in Burnout, which I have in my bag right now.
And don't get me wrong, Burnout is fun, but I like realistic racing games.
Totally
and
realistic.
then my other 2 ones are The Division. Yep, it's just looking cooler. Can't wait till 2015. The bastards for pushing it back. However, Ubisoft doesn't push games back except for to make them better. So
It's okay.
it's
We
okay.
understand.
I'm willing to wait. Impatiently, but I'm willing to wait. And the other big one is Valiant Hearts. It's set in World War I. This is just in case for all you out there who don't know. This year is the 100th anniversary of the beginning of World War I. And Valiant Heart, the trailer they showed hits in all the feels. It was pretty much unfair to put that trailer in period, because it hit all the feels hard. But it also looks like it could be an interesting game because it's done in the Ubi art engine. So it's cartoony, yes, but again, it's like, from the way the trailer sounded is basically you interact with four characters and their dog, and the dog's the one doing the monologue through the trailer because it sounds like he's the only one who lives.
Oh.
At least that's what the trailer made it sound like. And yeah, and the thing is that you can get away with really gut-rippy stories like that. See Grave of the Fireflies if you've never watched that anime as animation, whereas you can't get away with it as live action or realistic animation because it's so
Kind of like how you can get away with a lot more in a musical than you can in a serious movie.
Right.
Yeah, because
I
if
was
you're
gonna say,
singing
Saving
about it, it's
Private
fine.
Ryan was pretty damn,
Yeah.
and that was causing like PTSD symptoms in some people, like if they went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah. There was when I went and saw Saving Private Ryan, like,
Especially that opening Normandy scene. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
see, I'm young enough that I wasn't there. I swear, people, I am. However, my grandfather was there. And obviously he lived, otherwise I wouldn't be talking to you right now. But, like, that opening Normandy scene hit me hard. Like, my girlfriend at the time lost feeling in her fingers because I was gripping her hand so hard. I wasn't obviously intentionally trying to hurt her, but I ended up causing her fingers to fall asleep because of how hard I was gripping her hand and the intensity of it. And because all I was thinking was, my grandfather lived through this, my grandfather lived through this. And, across the aisle in the theater from me, there was an older gentleman, who was of the appropriate age to have been in World War II. And he was broken down crying at the D-Day scene. So he was probably in D-Day also. And so you can get away with touching on the subjects a little bit more strongly in things like Grave of the Fireflies or Valiant Hearts, which are animated looking, than you can with live action.
So even the original Call of Duty games threw you in Normandy,
Yeah.
and that was,
And it didn't feel bad.
no.
It was, part of it is even though they were going for realistic animation for their day and age, it was in their day and age. So they weren't anywhere near as realistic looking as video games are now.
Do you think do you think it would be crazy if they remade the original Call of Duty with modern day graphics?
It would probably be a lot more intense, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That'd be
So,
insane.
yeah. Okay, so I'll leave Ubi with that because the rest of them are kind of to me.
Okay.
Well, okay, Far Cry 4 looks crazy and insane, and actually kind of makes me want to go back and play the other Far Cries because I had never heard much about the other ones.
I played Far Cry 2 for about 3 hours, and it was fun. But I heard Far Cry 3 was way better.
Yeah, I've heard Far Cry 3 is so far the best of them.
Yeah, it's kind of insane, and so was the expansion pack, like Dragon something.
Blood Dragon, but
Yeah.
Blood Dragon was
It was like intentionally supposed to be insane.
it was intentionally an insane 80s
Yeah.
vibed action all out thing that it was its own
beast.
it was its own beast, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dustin, go for one. Three.
I am going to touch on my bread and butter here real quick because I'm a huge survival horror fan. So there's 2 games I just want to touch on real quick. Well, I was gonna say 3, but we kind of already touched on Dead Rising, which it's survival horror, but it's also done very.
It's comedic.
It's comedic, yeah. The first one was a game called The Evil Within,
Yeah.
which looked fucking crazy. Like, it was basically, like in my notes here, it basically looked like as if Resident Evil and Silent Hill had a baby. This would kind
That
of
was
be
raised
it.
by Skyrim.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
a Bethesda game. So
Oh yeah, that's right. When I saw it was made by Bethesda, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
yeah.
And so,
It was raised by Wolfenstein.
raised by id. I watched the gameplay trailer. It was like a 15-minute gameplay clip, and you start the game off hanging upside down from a ceiling.
Use the Force, Luke. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, he kind of does, but he uses the force of momentum.
Yeah.
So basically, you open the scene. You're hanging upside down by your feet from the ceiling by a rope. You're kind of hanging there. You're limited to your head's mobility, so you can only look left and right so far. And there's a room in front of you with what looks like probably like a butcher table or a surgical table of some sort. Dude walks in from there, walks past you, and then all you hear in the background is like a body being like cut in half, and the guy kind of like groaning about it. And then he walks back, dragging that body by the arm, and all it is a torso, and is basically from the waist up, and he's dragging it back to that surgical room, throws the body up on the table, and starts doing his thing to it. And your character's like, okay.
Time to leave.
Yeah, and so the goal from there is basically the body in front of you has a knife buried in the torso, so you're trying to swing to that body to get the knife and then cut yourself free from the ceiling. Well, and then you're trying to get out of the room, blah, blah, blah. Then it kind of moves forward, and then you realize this dude's after you at this point because he eventually notices you, because it wouldn't be the game if it wasn't.
Right.
Next thing you know, it becomes Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're fucking limping, not running, limping away from this guy as fast as possible, and he's coming at you with a chainsaw at full bore, and it's just your job to kind of avoid and hide from him because you don't really have a weapon at this point.
Yeah.
So it shows you you're like trying to get out of a room, but there's no real exit to the room. So you jump into a locker and hide in the locker while he's like wandering right outside the the door of the locker, like chainsawing shit, trying to find you. But yeah, the realism of it and the darkness of it was absolutely crazy. I don't think any of these guys here are survival horror fans.
Not a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like zombie stuff, but not so much the.
yeah, this was
people.
very supernatural horror, like super nuts, crazy, super like mangled bodies and shit coming at you, and which is kind of like some of the reasons why I like Dead Space and Silent Hill is kind of for those very reasons. It's very supernatural, and it's like super realistic looking, which whew, I'm excited for it, especially in a dark room with 5.1 surround sound. The other game, I don't know. It was really hard to tell based on the trailer that I watched, but there's a PlayStation exclusive coming out called Bloodborne.
Looks like a Dark Souls clone to me.
Yeah, but it's done. It's a Victorian era.
Yeah.
Which I read. They call it an action RPG.
Right.
But the way it looked with the supernatural bodies and stuff like that, and it kind of had a Silent Hill feel to it.
Well, being an RPG doesn't exclude horror themes or survival themes from it, because, RPG most of the time when it comes to video games, it either means, like, usually when they tack another word, like action, for example, onto RPG, it usually means that you can power your character up over time.
Right.
So
get new equipment, new outfits. Yeah.
More skills, things like that.
Yeah. But just the feel and the look of it had my attention. Like,
it looked gorgeous.
It looked bloody insane.
Yeah.
The
detail, that was a cinematic trailer, but at the same time, they're getting really good at, like, making video games look really close to their cinematic trailers nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, me excite. Those are my kind of games, so that's why I wanted to bring those up.
Yeah.
I guess moving on. What do you got, sir?
So, yeah, there's a lot of, come back from old school kind of stuff on this one, I noticed.
Yeah.
So, just kind of throw a list out here.
Do it. You better say Gauntlet.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That
How
was
could I not?
super fun.
Important note, I was noticing that the Valkyrie was rather covered.
Which is nice.
Yeah, the Warrior was rather skimpy. He was getting like a big old plate helmet and his like little leather strap thing.
Yeah.
And that was it. But the Valkyrie was covered, so it was kind of like...
little leather banana hammock,
Yeah.
Totally not going to chafe and cause issues.
Not at all.
Yeah, I just thought it funny that they
That's
did
why you wear
that.
the talc.
Yeah.
But they got the Mad Max game coming out.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to. I've always been into Mad Max.
I like post-apocalyptic.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
So I'm really hoping they do a good job on the Mad Max game to tide me over till Fallout 4.
There you go.
Because Bethesda, the bastards, didn't announce something at this E3. And by didn't announce something, I mean they didn't announce Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, that's my table flip moment for everyone, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not into football or sports or any of that.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy Blood Bowl. and they got a Blood Bowl 2 coming out.
I saw that.
Awesome.
Now, didn't they do the last Blood Bowl was almost like you weren't actually involved in the game. It was like an RPG football game, right?
That's what it
Okay,
is.
Blood Bowl. I have the last Blood Bowl game. I think it's fun because it is damn near identical to playing the tabletop war game, which is what I wanted out of it. I wanted a recreation of the war game I can no longer get. And that's what I got. It's a lot of fun because that's what I wanted and what I was expecting. A lot of people were expecting a lot more action.
Well, I think because the hope is that it was going to be like Mutant League Football,
Yeah.
like from the old Sega Genesis days.
Yeah, I remember MLF. That was a fun game too.
Yeah. It's, when they're doing Blood Bowl, I think they're specifically going for the people that used to play the tabletop version.
Yeah,
from
they're going for Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
the
any
fact
other
that-
war game fans they can
Yeah.
grab.
And the fact that they had the announcers on there, that big old ogre guy and
Yes.
the vampire, was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see, they also had Doom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's looking pretty hot.
Doom was just but that was just more of an announcement trailer. I guess they're going to do the full reveal at
Gamescom.
QuakeCon.
Or QuakeCon. Yeah.
Yep. They got a new Dragon Ball coming out,
Yep.
which I don't play that many fighter games. I played the shit out of the
Oh, is this
Dragon
going to be
Ball
like a
one.
new Zen Budokai?
Looks like it.
Okay, because like I'm not even a Dragon Ball fan, but honestly, Zen Budokai was a fun fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
the Dragon Ball games, I've only ever played a couple of them, but they're like just completely over the top and
Yeah.
just kind of fun, knocking people clear across the state, basically, like through mountains and shit.
I mean, I have to say on the fighter front, I am upset that we still have not heard anything about a next gen Soul Calibur.
That would be pretty sweet. Or Tekken. I loved Tekken.
Tekken, Soul Calibur.
Tekken 5.
But
so-
we did get some Mortal Kombat 10.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, whatever. It's 10.
I know.
Oh,
Roman
and
10.
yeah, the other ones I was not so much redo on the old school stuff, but they got the Dynasty Warrior ones.
Yeah. Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors, which I would almost consider picking up a Wii U just for that, because
Well,
What about that plus that Yoshi game?
and Smash Brothers.
And Smash Brothers.
they're okay.
And
But
Bayonetta 2, which is a Wii U exclusive for some fucking reason.
Yeah, a Wii U exclusive, and has and you can dress her Bayonetta up as
Link.
as Samus, suited Samus, not Zero Suit,
Dumb.
and
Considering her character.
Princess Peach.
Oh, that could handle.
It was a really short Princess Peach skirt.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's kind of her shtick.
yeah,
But yeah, I played the hell out of Dynasty Warrior. I could do that.
Yeah.
And well, they also got a Gundam Warriors Gundam Reborn.
New Gundam
they had,
Dynasty Warriors.
yeah.
They didn't have any
And then-
trailers. They just had some screenshots.
And there was also Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and then there's also Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, but it's a 3DS game.
Kirby in 3D would be awesome.
Yeah, it was a 3DS Kirby. It was called Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, and a lot of your control wasn't just moving Kirby around. It was drawing using the stencil to make ramps for Kirby to use to get to traverse the game.
See, now that kind of game I get excited about. That sounds kind of awesome.
Well, if you're kind of excited about that game, as far as PlayStation goes, Little Big
Little
Planet
Big, you would
3.
love Little Big Planet.
I have it for my PSP and I just cannot get into it. I don't know if it's the small screen format,
It probably is actually.
but it just, it's, yeah.
But it's yarn. He's a sack boy. He made a burlap.
Being made out of yarn and burlap doesn't make it automatically good, though. It makes
I-
it visually
honestly-
intriguing to me, but
Honestly, I think it is a small form. I think it is a small screen format.
Yeah, it
I think
could
if
be.
you tried it on a bigger screen, I bet you would like it.
I got really bored with it.
I would say plus Little Big Planet 3. There's Sackboy and three new friends, which
Oddsock was one of
Oddsock, which is a little dog that can wall jump and is really fast.
He's a
excuse me.
shape-shifting guy of some sort. Like, he can increase his size up and down.
I'm just gonna call him Big Small because I can't remember the.
Yeah, me either.
I can't remember the actual name they gave him, but he can get really big and really strong and push stuff around and be really heavy, or he can get really, really tiny and get light.
Get rid through
And
crevices
get
and stuff.
through little crevices and stuff. And then there's a bird that can pick people up and carry him. So, and like the levels are built, like the co-op levels are built So you have to work together with the different characters and stuff. It looks really fun. And I normally hate platformers. Like, I hate platformers because I suck at platformers. I suck so hard at platformers. Like Mario, like as much as I appreciate Mario as a character,
Oh, I suck at Mario.
World 1-2 is like I feel an accomplishment if I get through World 1-2 in a Mario game.
I'm the same way. When my brother and I were kids and I would want to play Mario, I would hand the controller off to him every other level because I got frustrated at dying so much. And then I would play the card game houses.
So
on Mario 3.
Yeah. But yeah, so for me, like, platformers were never my thing. But like Little Big Planet 3 with the cooperative mode and the different characters and stuff and different modes looks like a lot of fun. And also one of the things I thought was cool just for in general with it is all the levels that have been built for Little Big Planet 2, you can download for Little Big Planet 3 and they upgrade the graphics into the new engine. So there's already millions of levels ready to go for Little Big Planet 3 beyond what's going to be in the game itself.
That's pretty cool.
Which I was like, nice going, guys.
I wonder if you can find, is like the original one available for the Wii, do you think?
No, it's a Sony exclusive.
Yeah, it's a Sony exclusive.
I'd like to try it on big screen format and see if...
Yeah.
Because it looked like such a cool game.
Yeah.
I did see one other thing that might get me to pick up a Wii. Project Giant Robot.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, some people might, well, probably not remember, but my favorite game, Robot Alchemic Drive. Yeah, it reminds me of that. So you're using the analog sticks to move the arms. You actually physically move the joystick around to rotate the torso.
Yeah.
So you can, like, extend the punch by rotating the controller and hitting the pad at the same time, so you can time it right to get a full force punch. And yeah, and it's all customized robots, and like you can make the legs shorter to be more sturdy, but you're slower. But you make them longer to be faster. It's just
it's trade off.
That looks cool.
Yeah,
I would probably, I could consider picking it up for that.
Let's say two more on the Sony front. Well, actually, there's actually K3 I want to talk about, but just back on the old nostalgia thing, they're bringing back Grim Fandango. They're remaking Grim Fandango in PS4 level graphics. I can't wait to play Grim Fandango again. I loved that game.
Nope.
Okay, but that's just yay. It's going to be a clone except for the graphics. So cool. Entwined.
Entwined looked pretty fun.
That looked trippy as hell.
Totally stylized.
And having to independently use both analog sticks to control two different characters simultaneously as one person. That's going to take some work. But again, that's like good brain work to get your brain to be able to do that. So, mothers, if your children want to play Entwined, it will actually help make their brains and their hand-eye coordination better. Yes, motor skills. And the Order 1886. Go for some more steampunk gorgeousness. The thing looks like a friggin' movie.
Yep.
Which normally when there is film grain and motion blur in a video game, I'm like, that shit gets turned off. Like, I know, like, it was totally in Mass Effect games. It was not in my Mass Effect games. However, in the Order 1886, it looks perfect that way, I think, because of it gives it that kind of older Victorian feel. Oh, it helps with that atmosphere a lot, I think. And in general, Order 1886 looks like it'll be a fun game. So, yeah.
Couple more from my list. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is the direct sequel from the last Tomb Raider reboot that they did.
Yeah.
Looking super forward to that, especially after I beat the first one. I was like, I want another one because it was just that fun.
Yeah.
Even if it was just more of the same, that's fine, as long as you throw in some different environments, because it was just, the gameplay mechanics were perfect. I never got any glitchy weirdness out of the game at all, like you do in a lot of, you don't get pixel stuck like in a corner or anything very easily.
Right.
Which is nice. So looking forward to that. Let's see. Destiny was another PlayStation exclusive.
Not PlayStation exclusive.
Not PlayStation exclusive?
It is coming out for the PS4, PS3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. And Bungie, being the bunch of asshats that they are, backpedaled on putting it on PCs. Even though it was originally going to be PS4, PS3, and PC, not on any Xboxes. However, the PS4 is still getting favoritism.
Nonetheless, I think it was at the Sony press conference.
It was at the Sony press conference, and it's getting all, they're getting PS4 owners especially are getting a lot of benefits that no one else is going to get.
Got it. Okay. But like for a story-driven game, like it seems like something that would be like, I've never played Mass Effect, but I'd imagine it's got to be somewhere like heavily story-driven, a lot like Mass Effect was.
Well, it's basically a shooter MMO is what Destiny's playstyle boils down to. And it's going to be not a bullet hell, but a gun collector game, kind of like Borderlands, where you upgrade, one of your big things is upgrading your guns constantly. However, it looks cool, and it's a great sounding storyline. So, yeah. I have mixed feelings about it, if you can't tell.
I'm gonna throw these out there just because I can. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
It's
look cool.
More brown Call of Duty. Okay,
but with electro gadgets and exoskeletons that make you stronger, and mechs and walking tanks, and
I don't know. It's still.
It does look like a lot of the same.
It does look like a lot of the same, and also, okay, nitpicking. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's fine. If you're gonna nitpick anything, nitpick Call of Duty because it's usually the fucking same thing every year.
Yeah. This one isn't, amazingly enough. There's enough differences that it's not the same. Okay, the attack in Seoul that they show in the trailer, which I don't remember if that was in Microsoft or in EA's press conference, but they do the attack in Seoul and everything and yada yada woohoo.
I watched a gameplay trailer. I mean, I saw the actual trailer like a week before E3.
Yeah, that's because it got leaked. But
then there was the
gameplay footage.
The gameplay footage.
It was. I can't remember if it was in Microsoft's or in EA's, but I have it wrote down here under Microsoft, so I'm assuming it was in Microsoft's.
Probably it gets a lot of benefits for Xbox players.
Yeah. I mean, okay, it looked good. I'm not gonna chagrin at the new engine they have it on for the Xbox One and the PS4. It looked good. I'm not, credit where credit's due. They did a good job there. However, one of the things that just pissed me off about it was, okay, they do the crash into the building and everything. They look out and they look over and, it's like, they've told you they're in Seoul. You're in Seoul already. There is Hangul on the buildings. That is Korean writing for all of those of you who don't know. And then you pan over to a billboard and it's a white woman.
That's not really nitpicking, but that's a
I'm
practical.
Like, where's the Korean lady that would actually be on that billboard? I know the game's actually targeted at white American males, but it broke me out of it. Like, it broke me out of the realism.
Put it out there. White American males, heavily into Asian chicks. I'm just putting that out there.
But, the thing is like, it totally broke me out of the realism of I'm in Seoul at this point. Cause like, I give video games the benefit of the doubt. Like, I let movies and video games take me into their world relatively easily. That was probably my phone. Sorry, it's running out of batteries. But I try to like let them take me there relatively easily. Same thing with books. And when that white woman showed up on the billboard, I was like, I'm broke. It's broken. I'm out.
Nope.
Yeah. However, I liked the grenades where you could shift the type of grenade.
Oh yeah, clink, clink, clink.
Yeah. And spark grenades are not okay. They work cool, but that's not cool.
Where they can follow you?
That follows you and smacks into you and blows up.
It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And Battlefield Hardline,
which I'm in the beta for, by the way.
God damn it. That looks so fucking cool for a concept of for a game. Like,
grappling hooks are fun. I'm just going to put that out there.
Just throw the military out altogether and just bring in like the local.
It's cops and robbers,
baby. And robbers, like straight up, like you played this in the sandbox as kids.
Yeah.
But on a video game. Like,
with much bigger guns.
Yeah. So you can be like on a SWAT team, or you can be on the robber side. Like, it's like 10 on 10.
It's 16 on 16.
16 on 16.
32 people in per match.
And if you're running like missions, like if you're running opposing missions, like say, especially for a co-op
Yeah.
not team deathmatch, but instead of having like a capture the flag thing, it's almost like a dual capture the flag, where one team's got to actually try and rob the bank, but the other team's got to try and stop the other team from robbing the bank.
And then if you do manage to rob the bank, you've got to get to an extraction point,
yeah.
and the other team can try to chase you down still. Yeah, it's not, yeah. And the flags are all mobile.
Yeah.
It's
idea-
actually, I played a couple of matches, and I didn't do so well personally, because I haven't really been into a shooter in a long time heavily, to where I'm in practice. But it was fun. And the grappling hooks are cool. I'm just going to mention that again.
Grappling hooks.
Yeah. Let's see, a couple more from, I mentioned it earlier with the other racing games, Forza 2 Horizon, or Forza Horizon 2. Looks cool, looks great. And over other racing games, because it's an open world racing game like The Crew, one of the things I'm looking forward to for both of these is actually making rally cars to go on dirt roads.
That'd be fun.
Instead of, I mean, drifting's cool. I like drifting cars around corners in video games. But actually doing a rally car to drift on a dirt road, like up the side of Pikes Peak, just sounds awesome. And yeah, Forza Horizon 2 will let you do that, and it sounds like Crew's going to let you do that also. Couple more games real quick on the Microsoft side of thing. Sunset Overdrive.
I didn't really catch what that was about.
Yeah, me either.
You're killing zombies that were infected by an energy drink.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
I did see some gameplay footage of that.
And that game looks...
And it looks bonkers.
If they keep the humor from the trailer in the game, I'm going to love that game.
I saw Angry Joe, I guess at the press conference, they were actually handing out the actual energy drinks.
Oh, nice.
That's
So
awesome.
Angry Joe did a review on it. He's like, I didn't actually make it to the press conference. I didn't make it in time, but I saw somebody toss one of the cans into a garbage can, so I grabbed it real quick. So he's like, I just wanted to show this to you guys, and I was like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like, that is cool. Like, that's a great promo for.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this is a great one. And then a couple other quick ones. Ori and the Blind Forest. It's a little side-scrolling platformer. It is completely hand-drawn. There is no reused art assets in the game. And basically the game starts out and you're this little glowing kind of fox-looking forest spirit thing. And you're being taken care of by what happens to be your mother, but she's this kind of giant, kind of bear-esque looking forest spirit. And then she gets killed by the evil forest spirit and you have to go on an adventure.
Aw.
And it's kind of like one of those, it's kind of a Princess Mononoke / Spirited Away feel to the plot with
Do you
that.
get the little tree spirits?
No, unfortunately I didn't see Little Tree Spirits, but and the art style is just, it was like beautiful. Because it was all the hand-drawn assets. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be like, it's a platformer, so I'm gonna have to buy like 15 controllers before I play it, because they will be going out the window because of how bad I am at platformers. But the game just looks beautiful, and it looks like it's a good story added into the platformer also. Oh, and then Cuphead. Did anyone see the trailer for that? Cuphead. It's for independent at Xbox. Their indie developer initiative. It's a side-scroller beat-em-up from the look of it, but you are playing a character called Cuphead. Your head's like a teacup. And it's in the drawing style of like 1930s Disney.
It's like Steamboat Willie style.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's crazy looking and just looks insane and like surreal. A good healthy dose of great surrealist fun. And then The Mighty Number 9, because we all need more Mega Man.
Yes. From the original creators.
From the original creator, yes. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mighty Number 9 will be fun. And that was a Kickstarter to begin with, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was. And, yeah, they showed some work on it, and it looks like it's going well.
So, I got one that I'm actually kind of surprised Dustin hasn't brought up yet.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Mario Maker.
Oh
I
yeah.
was kind of waiting for Nikki to bring it up, but she's
I
been
was
pretty
gonna
silent.
let you do it. I'm not as into gaming.
I know,
as
but I was
you
going to
guys
give you
are.
like the two that you knew, so.
Oh yeah, I shared that with you for a reason. You're Mario crazy.
And I found out Mario Maker is actually the working title.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I think they should just leave it as a title. It's
Yeah.
a good sounding title.
It describes exactly what it appears to
Yes.
be. Yeah.
Basically, you take good old-fashioned, old-school NES Mario.
From
and
8-bit to modern day
Yep.
on your graphics levels.
The thing is that they didn't show anything in between.
I'm
So-
sure there is. They were just showing you can do
They were
the
showing what
modern
people
stuff.
knew.
It's in
And,
production. It's still demo
Yeah.
mode and stuff. I'm sure they're going to have more.
I'm sure they're going to have 16 and 32 bits.
But basically, you just take your tablet from your Wii U and you just bleep 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 and just build worlds
Yeah.
based on Mario, and you can. I hope that they do a Little Big Planet style thing where you can upload the things you create to a server
Oh.
and then people can download them and run them.
If they don't, they're shooting
Idiots.
themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to with that kind of game.
Another game that caught my eye, because the first one it got really good reviews for being an awesome concept, but I think it could have gone better, was Mirror's Edge. And
Yes.
they did another Mirror's Edge preview,
It
and they
looks
showed some
amazing.
gameplay, and it looks fucking tight. Like,
Yeah.
they got the controls down, they probably took all the feedback they got and
Yes.
did it right. And it's supposed to be kind of like a prequel-ish.
I didn't get where the story was set, but
From what they said, it was supposed to be how faith became faith. Is
Okay.
how they said in the conference. So I'm
Okay.
guessing it's prequel-ish. Not sure how it'll run as far as that goes, but from the gameplay footage that they showed, it looked like they had just.
it was
really-
crisp looking.
They
I
cinched
mean,
it down.
it had the stylized look that Mirror's Edge had,
Mm-hmm.
the original Mirror's Edge had, and and all of the graphical assets were, the whites and the reds and the blacks and a little bit of blue, but they had the stark Mirror's Edge contrast, and it was mostly white, and it was crisp and clean, and like her movement and how the camera transitioned, you could kind of tell what she was doing as you were running and moving with the game, even though it was in first person. I was like, wow, they stepped up their game. Mm-hmm. So
doing parkour in first person.
yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. I don't have much after this. Well, I take that back. I'm gonna leave Borderlands to these two
Okay.
because they know more about it than I do. I played Borderlands 2, but
I'll let you take that here in just a moment.
Okay.
So,
the last one I
Yep.
want to bring up was it wasn't even mentioned here, but you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna pass that one because pretty much everybody knows about Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain. They've already announced it a while back,
and I was like, man, I don't care because I don't really care for the Metal Gear games.
However, Batman Arkham Knight fucking mic dropped that shit because I saw the trailer for that and I thought it was badass. Like they mechanized his bat symbol, which was fucking
That was
cool.
my problem with it, was they put him in a power armor. Basically. His gloves, the suit, it's all mechanized and armored. And if I wanted that, I'd play an Iron Man game.
I thought it looked sick, and the Batmobile,
The Batmobile was cool.
it can strafe.
Yeah. The Batmobile was cool. And I like how, villains besides Joker are getting props in Batman games. Mm-hmm. Because, everyone knows the Joker. But
Who? I'm sorry.
don't even try
Totally
other comic
kidding.
book nerd in the room.
I'm totally kidding.
But, Scarecrow, and, a lot of people know Penguin too, but, Scarecrow, he's always been one of my favorites because of what he does. He's, okay, admittedly, I really love Joker as a villain because he is chaos incarnate. He doesn't have an agenda.
He's just a true psychopath.
He's
Likes to fuck with things.
He just likes to fuck with things, and that's a scary villain. Mm-hmm. And whereas Scarecrow is probably number 2 on my Batman villain list after Joker because Scarecrow has a plan, but his main weapon is fear. It's the chemicals he uses to cause fear, but that's how he gets to the fear that he wants to cause. Mm-hmm. And no one with a gun, no madman with a nuclear missile, unless that is your fear, is as scary as your own inner demons coming to haunt you. And that's what he makes happen. That's good villain material right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Batman has some of my favorite villains, quite honestly. But, you know, and I like, and the way they made Scarecrow look, I would, if I saw him coming at me, I was like, you don't need to stick in it, you don't need to wet, already wet myself. Thanks. You know, it was scary. But yeah, like, the power armor-esque thing for Batman, that, no.
I think it'll be a while before they actually create it's gotta be, because I know they're probably aiming more for, like modern day filmed Batman. Like I know that's kind of probably their
Although they have
style
kind
from.
of they've kind of had that style throughout the Arkham games,
Right. But if you're looking for like comic book Batman, it's gonna like the way they have Ben Affleck dressed. It might be a little bit different. Like it's gonna be a different style.
Well, the
of
thing is,
game.
Ben Affleck is dressed like the Dark Knight.
Right, which was very simple.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you can tell his suit is like more. I mean, it looks like it's paneled out, but it's not. You know, like armor, like super.
Well,
metallicized armor.
Yeah, I was like, Batman admits to wearing armor in
Right.
the Dark Knight, but he's also like, I'm old now. I don't move as fast as I used to. But also, it's just the full metal suit. Like Christopher Nolan's Batman did not have a metal suit. He didn't have power armor. He had like high tech composite materials, but not power armor. You know, and that's like. If, you know, he starts doing weird, crazy shit because of his suit, that'll just pull me out of the game because it's not Batman. I'm now playing Iron Man.
Interesting. I never put that spin on it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. First thing I thought when I saw it.
I also noticed the blades that came out of his.
Yeah. Also, those were never like sharpened blades.
No, at least
But
not back in the day.
yeah,
I think he used them as a spring-loaded projectile in the movies, if I'm not mistaken.
at one point he might have been. I think he's also used them to like catch himself on stuff. But
Oh yeah.
they weren't like weapons, really. Plus, Batman, the whole no-killing thing kind of precludes making people bleed.
Nah.
You can make them bleed, just not too much.
Well, true.
All right.
Okay.
And lastly, you know what? Fuck it. Bust a Move 4. Because I love me some Bust a Move games. Anyway.
Lol.
Yeah.
So, I got a couple more.
Okay, go for it.
Go for it, Mike.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, one, I actually watched the, I guess was an explanation of the gameplay and all that. It's Sniper Elite 3.
Yeah.
I was not expecting much out of it, but I was actually impressed with the amount of detail in sniping with it. The ballistics,
Yeah.
wind and gravity and all that affects your bullet.
Yeah.
Like a real sniper.
Yes.
And then the kind of like the kill cam thing they did, where you could get like this X-ray view of the internals of your target.
What damage you actually did to your opponent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And they actually had the X-ray view on like vehicles too. So you shoot.
Sorry, it's my phone.
Mason's dying.
My phone's dying. Yeah.
Mine died like an hour ago.
It
But
unhappy with this fact.
yeah, you can shoot a truck in the engine, and it'll show you like the bullet going into the engine and taking it apart, and then you can the truck can end up exploding because of it and
Yeah.
killing all the Nazis in it. So I don't know, it just
And
looked
a
like
dead
it was,
Nazi is a good Nazi.
yeah, it looked like it had some good gameplay to it, something I could play.
Yeah.
The other one, Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that looks crazy. I actually watched a trailer for that on they had the E3 PlayStation like channel on the actual PlayStation. That
Yeah.
was one of the trailers I watched on it. Looked friggin' crazy for a concept. Like I couldn't tell if that was
like-
Strider you were playing or
No, it's you are a warden. But you're a warden of the gates. You're of the gates of Mordor. And basically at this point there's a skeleton crew there because nothing's happened in thousands of years. And the game actually takes place between the events of The Hobbit and the events of Lord of the Rings.
Interesting.
And-
Because I know he's like carrying Narsil around with him, like the shards or like the mostly the handle. You know,
It's not Narsil.
it's not.
No, he's actually a wraith, like one of the ghost guys.
Yeah.
Part of the whole
But he's
story
not
is,
he's not a ring wraith. He's not cursed by the rings.
yeah.
But he is denied the gift of death, the gift of mortality.
Yeah, because I noticed it was like a Groundhog Day thing, where it seems like he kept coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, part of the whole thing with him is you're going around to the orc warlords, getting in their heads, and having them fight each other. So you're helping Middle Earth by getting the orcs to fight each other. And yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, I thought I keep thinking like Assassin's Creed in Middle Earth.
Kinda, yeah.
Let's see. Double check my list real quick, but I think that about do it. There was a couple Final Fantasy things, but nothing real. You know, it's like they had a trailer that was like the recent update they did for Final Fantasy
14. Yeah.
They had
Final Fantasy Arno or something like that, or
Agito, which is like it's
Agito,
like an
yeah.
MMO on a handheld, like androids and stuff like that. And it's like on the weekends you go fight bosses. You know, it's not like you actually go around on quest.
Okay.
It's just weird. It's like you craft and socialize during the week, and then on the weekends you go kill bosses, and that was a bit.
Okay,
So
whatever,
it was just
sure.
weird, yeah. The other one
You go
was,
Square Enix.
Yeah. The Theatrhyme Final Fantasy. It's a music follower thing.
Okay.
It looked interesting, especially when they had like, you know, you're doing the Sephiroth theme on there, but that's all it is. It's just music.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks, Nicky.
It's a rhyme
can't
and
not do
time
it.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a new Dragon Age, but yeah, okay.
New Dragon Age looks awesome in my opinion. It looks like it's gonna
Yeah,
be cool.
I have not been disappointed by the Dragon Ages so far.
I never played 2 because I heard enough negativity about 2 compared to 1 about how it was.
Compared to 1, yeah, but it was still a good game.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll skip 2, see what happens, because I figured they were going to come out with a third one.
Wasn't too glitchy as fuck, too.
No, not to my knowledge. At least not on PCs.
I've been thinking of a different game, but
Oh yeah, there's a new Alien one too, Alien Isolation.
Yes.
So,
Which can be a steaming pile of crap and still come out looking better than the last Aliens game, unfortunately.
yeah. That pretty much covers my list.
Okay.
Uncharted 4. It was more of an announcement trailer than
Yeah,
anything.
there wasn't much to it.
But that I think from what I saw, the one review of the trailer I saw was that they were kind of nitpicking over Nathan Drake's face because it was hyper realistic versus the prior incarnations of what Nathan Drake looked like.
Oh my
But that-
god, it's too real. It's the new.
Oh no! They
God.
changed some of the art assets for the new game because it's on a new the new consoles and computers, which are more powerful than the ones that were made 10 years ago. Whatever.
People are
Okay.
going to find things to complain about.
Yeah.
It's just our nature.
Basically, from what I understand, there hasn't been a bad Uncharted game yet, so
Yeah.
whatever. It's going to be awesome, I think.
So yeah, it's kind of the whole. Hey, look, it's Uncharted. Let's go play Indiana Jones for 10 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
Male Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Let's see. A game by EA that I think shouldn't be coming out. It's not a table flipper, but I think they're just late. Is Dawngate. EA has decided to make a MOBA that looks like Dota, not Dota 2. The graphical assets look like Dota graphical assets. Like they're not as good as Dota 2 or League graphical assets. Chris, that is one of the nice things about Riot Games and League is that they constantly update their graphical assets. So they're like characters that came out 5 years ago with the beginning of League have had their graphics updated. So they look like the newer ones and are better than they were originally, which I think is cool for them to do. It prevents WoW syndrome. And Dawngate, I think no matter, it is going to have to be the end all be all MOBA or no one will play it because pretty much all MOBA players are already too invested in either Dota 2 or League of Legends to stop playing their game. So they will have to make they will have to do something that just for some reason completely blows away both Dota 2 and League, or Dawngate's just a failure. And so far there are actually a lot of MOBAs out there that are all failures because they can't compete with Dota or League. One I was giving you the whole time to talk about, but you didn't, and I'm surprised. Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh Jesus, how did I not bring that one up? To be honest with you,
You know, I wasn't that much into this Battlefront one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Okay, but okay, the in-engine pre-alpha graphics that they were showing of it was hard to differentiate from the movies. It was incredible, the amount of detail in it, and if they do even a half-assed job on the rest of the game, it's the graphics alone will keep my Star Wars nerd happy.
I'll be more excited about it when they get out some actual, actually showing us something.
Yeah.
Well, what I liked about the production video that I watched was that it looked like the guys over at DICE really put some fucking love into it.
Yeah.
Like they actually went over to Skywalker Ranch, looked at all the props
At the museum,
They took
yeah.
pictures of everything, visited actual film locations, including Hoth.
Yeah. Well, that's their backyard because the guys in DICE are in like Sweden or something like that.
Well, they were all English-speaking white guys.
Well,
Listen to their accents.
Most
I guess so.
They're
Scandinavian countries
speak English
People, yeah.
because
fluently.
yeah, they were. DICE is in like Belgium or something. So
I'm trying to find them here because the another thing I wanted to bring up with this conversation too is that they were they brought up a couple of re-releases for PS4 from their PS3.
Last of Us and
counterparts.
GTA 5.
GTA 5. Now, Last of Us was the one that I couldn't put my thumb on. But Last of Us on PS4 graphics.
I was looking at it. It's okay. It is nicer. The PS4 graphics are nicer than the PS3 graphics, but that game's graphics were already
They were pretty tight.
they were already so tight that I didn't see the need. Like, okay, sell more copies. I get it, but it was already so tight that I didn't see the need to do it. And I have to say, one of the things I like about the GTA 5 one was for GTA Online. Anyone who was a PS3, PS4, or Xbox 360 customer can. They didn't release it. They aren't releasing it for the Xbox One. It's only being PS4 for the graphical update. But if you are either a PS3 or an Xbox 360 customer, you could port your online characters over to the Xbox 4
Jesus, I would hope so.
or to the PS4. Sorry. So, but you can port from the Xbox over.
That's cool.
For the iPhone. I was like, oh, take that, Microsoft.
That
Ouch.
pretty much is like a guaranteed sale too for a lot of people because a lot of people aren't going to go out and buy a new game to have to start all over again.
Right.
Like for example, Tomb Raider. That was like one of the first things that was re-released for PS4.
Yeah.
And there was huge graphical upgrades between the PS3 and the PS4 version. Like,
Right.
you go out and find the comparison videos. There's definitely
It's pretty
improvements.
serious. Yeah.
But as far as I know, there was no way to like port over your game saves or anything like
Right.
that. So, which I wouldn't mind playing again because it's a good game. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, it's the graphical that feature to be able to port your game saves and your characters over. That's pretty huge.
And another game before I go on to Borderlands, Mass Effect 4.
Oh yes.
They need to give me that now. Now.
Now, was it just an announcement or was it?
They are working on the game. They're in the middle of it.
Okay,
They've been working on the game BioWare's been working on it for a while.
gotcha.
But, yeah. And I like the fact that they're not bringing Shepard back. It's going to be a new story. Same universe, new story. Which I think is a great idea.
And they're going to a different part of the universe, though.
Yes.
So we're seeing parts of the universe we have not seen previously.
Yeah. I'm sure we're probably going to see some stuff again, but like if you're forced to play a human again, which I'm hoping they give you some race choices this time too.
Yeah,
but
that'd be hot.
But if they don't, if you're forced to play a human again, I'm sure you're going to see Earth. But not, and also depending on what they decided was the canon ending to 3, that could radically change the game obviously the whole machines wipe out people isn't the ending they choose, but if it's machines are wiped out or the synergy endings. So
Is there a possibility that maybe the storyline, if it's based on another character, it could be a parallel storyline?
possibly, but they've kind of always, the way they've always talked about it is Shepard did his thing and the universe has moved on.
Mm.
So it sounds like it's in the future from Shepard's story, Mass Effects 1 through 3. So yeah, Borderlands. Borderlands got a beautiful double whammy.
Yeah, it did.
The Telltale game looks like it's going to be cool. Like, I know there's not, I mean, it's basically dialogue choices in Telltale games, but if they let Anthony Birch write part of it, or at least kept to Anthony Birch's feel, it's gonna be really cool to go through those dialogue choices.
I just like the intro.
And also multiple replays because of doing the branching choices.
I love the, I can't remember which Borderlands it was. I think it was the Tales from Borderlands, because it looks like it's almost like a continuing or a parallel story to Borderlands 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's pre-sequel, but
the end of that trailer, it just shows a digitized Captain Jack going, so many people are gonna die. He's just laughing about it.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
yeah. I think it takes place.
And the pre-sequel trailer was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it was just 5 minutes of just insanity and awesomeness.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. Like, between the two Borderlands games and the crew, I can hold out till 2015 when The Division and Witcher 3 come out.
I really wish they would they need cross-play. I want to play Borderlands with you guys, but it just won't happen.
If I win the lottery, I'll buy you a computer.
Okay.
I'll even buy you a controller to go with it so you can use it like a console.
Yay.
Get schooled by the rest of us using mouse and keyboard.
Are you still awake?
Yeah.
And we'll be recording from the moon.
Yeah. And we'll be recording from the moon. Oh, yeah, one other thing that's not exactly video game related, but video game related. Ratchet and Clank, the movie. I'm so going to see this when it hits the theaters.
They also just announced a Sonic movie.
Not as excited about Sonic.
Yeah, I know.
But
Keep
part of it is
they can
I'm
make a
afraid
Sonic movie work.
because it's going to be part CG, part live action, and I don't know if they can pull that off as well as Who Framed Roger Rabbit did. Mm-hmm. So,
What about Alvin and the Chipmunks and Garfield, which failed miserably in the theaters?
I
And
don't know.
still
We can
ended
talk
up
about
with
those are
sequels.
fantastic movies that I absolutely did see because they weren't a waste of time.
No, it's just because stupid people bought the movies for their kids.
Yeah. I know, they made two Garfields.
And then the kids have those memories from their
I'm
childhood.
gonna,
They're like,
even though this outs
"Damn
me
you,
too, I'm gonna out Dustin. He saw both of those in the theater.
What?
Yeah, because
did
we
not.
we both went and saw them.
No.
Alvin and the Chipmunks and Garfield.
I never saw Garfield in the theaters.
Okay,
I
maybe-
was living in Burley at the time.
We didn't see Garfield.
But maybe Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the
Out of
Chipmunks.
yourself,
We did.
though.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you went by yourself?
No, I must have still been dating Heidi at the time.
Okay. You're scaring me, man. You're scaring me.
Because I wouldn't have gone and seen Garfield by myself.
And I wasn't sure. This is also something that was. I saw it mentioned, but I wasn't sure if it was an E3 announcement or not. But that Sony was going to be releasing a white PlayStation 4 in September.
Yes, September 9th, it is a white PlayStation 4 Destiny bundle. So it's the PlayStation,
Controller.
the controller, copy of Destiny, and 30 days of Plus.
Nice.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't bring it up. The PlayStation Television. Did you hear about all the cool? You saw that? Did you hear?
Well, we spoke lengths about it in a podcast a while back.
Yeah, but the fact that it is definitely coming to America now,
Oh.
like they announced it at, and the PlayStation Television, like the little box.
It's supposed to be like an Apple TV type thing.
Yeah.
But, like, better.
Yeah, you can use PS Now on it. Gaikai. They've changed the name to PS Now. But it can stream it will have like over 1,000 titles on release, and they will add more because it will have all of the PS3 library and all of the PSP and PS1 library ready to go at launch, and then they're going to add in the PS2 titles.
Just ready to stream.
Just ready to stream, and they're gonna. It's $99 for just the PS television, and you can get the PS TV bundle, which comes with a memory card, I think 8 gig they said,
Right.
and a DualShock 3 controller and a
Right.
voucher for the Lego Movie game for $139.
And
And if you have a PS4, you can
Stream that shit.
You can stream your PS4 to another TV.
which that's bonerific.
But like,
I
I am like, evidently Sony doesn't want to sell any more PS3s.
Well,
That's okay. I'm sure I'll upgrade to one of those since I'm so hippin' with it.
Well, no, it's just like with the PlayStation Television, like all of the PlayStation 3 games are going to be available on the PlayStation TV at launch when it comes out in a few months.
all the PlayStation 3 games?
Yeah, those are going to be the first games on it, or the PS3.
Oh, I guess if you stream them, that's one thing. Because I'm thinking because the reason they didn't release any of the games for the PS4 was because that it was a hardware compatibility issue.
right,
because it was
but these are
different.
being streamed.
Right. So if you stream them, so can you stream them through the PS4 then too?
No, just
If
the
you had the
television.
service?
Yes, you can with PlayStation Now, and everybody with a PlayStation who has it connected to the internet will have PlayStation Now eventually, because you will be purchasing or renting the games,
Well, fuck you, Microsoft.
pretty much.
And then not to mention your PlayStation Vita.
Yeah,
You also run through it. You can play all your Vita games through the TV too as well.
Yep.
Which, god damn, I want to just network my entire house with Sony shit now.
that was different than yesterday
I would
because
say you're a giant PlayStation fanboy. Did you really not want to do that before?
Just set up a PlayStation TV in my bedroom and in my living room, and then just have my PS4 in the family room.
yeah,
Take my Vita wherever I want to go.
to the littlest room in the house.
Yeah. And just,
Horrible.
so awesome.
I don't think he caught it. I caught it, but I don't think he caught it.
No, I think he did.
What?
Littlest room in the house.
Oh, the bathroom.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
that's what you get. It's Vita.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just thinking of shoving it to Microsoft, micro and soft being a perfect describers of their penis.
At this point, yes. But yeah, no, Sony, hardware wise, okay, Project Morpheus, it's VR, okay, it's cool. I think Project Morpheus and the Oculus Rift are cool ideas. I just can't completely get excited, the fact that the technology is happening and getting cool. I can get behind that. I just can't 100% get behind them for some reason. But the rest of the stuff Sony announced with the PlayStation Television. Oh, and if you have a network-enabled Sony TV, one of the newer models, they didn't say from when on, but probably the last couple of years, as long as you have it connected to the internet, you will be able to use the PlayStation Now service with just a TV and a controller.
So basically, I have PlayStation TV built into it.
Yeah. So you'll just be able to have PlayStation Now with just the TV and the controller without even having the box. You don't get all the other abilities the box has.
You can't. Can you stream your PlayStation 4
No.
to another room?
No.
Oh.
It's just the TV. The game can be streamed to the TV. Get the IR connection from the controller to send the commands back to the internet.
Crazy.
That's
Yeah. Sony hardware wise, Sony went, "Hey, Microsoft." So yeah.
oh, Microsoft's gonna have to start making TVs.
Oh, I hope they don't.
Oh my god. They'd be running Windows 8.
And
They
making
would.
guest apperances on CSI.
Basically, you'd
Yeah.
basically have a 55
guest
inch
appearance-
tablet on your wall. Just
Yeah, and you'd have to swipe.
yeah.
Oh god damn it.
It'd have a Kinect built in, so you have to do this to navigate your television.
Don't give them ideas.
They already thought of it.
Yeah. It's probably
That's what
development.
I would say. That the reason the Kinect is where it is because they haven't started making the TVs yet with the built-in camera. Because that's a little too close to Orwell. So yeah,
Or what was my truck's name?
Oh, sad times.
I had to scrap my truck this week. It was very depressing. Womp womp. He was in 1984, you guys.
Yes.
He had to be named Orwell.
So yeah.
Man, is there any last things? We're
Yeah.
into the Wii.
Yeah, we're at our half mark now, so
Yeah, I think we've covered everything worth mentioning. Only other thing I can think of is they had the Sid Meier Civilization in space. I enjoyed the previous Civilization games.
I heard Civ 5 was a damn letdown. From
Okay.
reliable people who play a lot of Civ type games. So
Okay. Let's see.
Check and make sure nobody. I
Let's double
don't
check
think
what it
anybody
is.
commented on our.
okay. Oh, one more thing from Ubisoft, Just Dance 2015. Not that I play dance games, because no. But like, if they can pull off the like Just Dance now part of it where you can use a phone, be it an Android phone or an Apple-based phone or a Windows-based phone, as a controller with an app, so you can connect to a local game anywhere through. Some people through Wi-Fi, some people through 3G, some people through 4G LTE. You know, some people, you know, like if they can do this massive connectivity thing together, that's cool in the long run, not just for Just Dance 2015, so you can have more than the 4 or 5 players or whatever it is they support individually.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if they could start making greater cross-platform connectivity and make it better and work well together, that's just in general a good, awesome thing for video games, because hopefully eventually we won't have to worry about, oh, I'm on a PC, oh, you're on a PS3 and you're on an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
We can all play the game together, no matter what game it is, on basically a publisher's run server or
Yeah, I
something.
was gonna say if it was like an EA server versus
A Microsoft
PlayStation.
server or
Yeah.
PlayStation server, yeah, or a Steam server, being the computer side of things usually. Oh, sorry, EA mentioned EA Origin server.
Well, EA was just a name that popped into my head. Bungie server or
Yeah,
Bethesda server. I don't know.
right.
Okay, I did find one we forgot about.
Okay,
So we talked about Hyrule Warriors. We didn't talk about they are doing a new
Zelda game.
Legend of
And
Zelda.
Link looks like a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The thing I'm excited about for that one, actually, it's going to be more. They're kind of kicking back to the original Legend of Zelda and making it open world. So you can, from the beginning of the game, go off in the wrong direction and run into big things that you're not supposed to be fighting yet and get yourself killed.
I saw a meme already floating around on the internet on it. It was just this. It was a screenshot of an open field just full of grass, and it was just imagine all the grass you can cut. 'Cause that was-
well, there was that one part. Yeah, so
But yeah, and they pulled out that it's like super awesome arrow of freaking fold out destructiveness.
Full-
full out
badass.
switchblade, laser blade,
Fucking
arrow.
Transformer arrow.
Yeah,
Like, ching, 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 ching. Glow.
I know I'd almost feel bad shooting it because I don't know if I'm gonna get it back.
yeah.
And he had explodey arrows and
Put on a red
stuff.
bandana, it'll be fine.
Oh,
there you go.
I got that one.
Ah, it would have been funnier an hour ago.
Which is weird because it's
where-
actually a Metal Gear joke, it's not a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know how I know about that. So.
LOL.
Wear the red bandana, infinite ammo.
So about an hour and
Hour and
40
a half.
minutes, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We run over.
Yes,
There was
we
a
did.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good 2014, 2015 for gaming.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of options out there.
Yeah.
Even some of the smaller stuff like Gauntlet. I know we already talked about it, but I am super fucking excited for Gauntlet. Even though
It's a new Gauntlet game.
and they went back to its roots.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
with they added upgrades to it.
Green Warrior needs food badly.
Yes,
Exactly. And yeah, and also E3 is E3 is the biggest, but it's also the start of the circuit for these guys. They've still got Gamescom in Germany and Tokyo Game Show, and they are going to have announcements to the two of those too that they did not have here.
What about PAX?
PAX is cool, but not as big. They will have presences at PAX. Might announce something at PAX, but yeah, like Gamescom and TGS are going to get more announcements than PAX will.
That is true.
Every time somebody mentions PAX, I get a Beefy song stuck in my head. He's got a song where he talks about PAX. If you see me at PAX, come up and say hello. Name is Beefy. I come from a place called Kennewick. Hey, moved to Pasco. No? Anybody Beefy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have no idea.
He's a nerdcore rapper.
From, well, if you didn't catch what she spelled, Kennewick, Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's also a guest rapper in DMC Frontalaw's song, Three Nerd Rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot of things together.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Whatever you got, three nerd rappers.
And
All right.
that's going on the air. Awesome.
Yep.
Sweet.
You're welcome.
Yay!
I've said weirder shit on the show, so.
Yeah, but just the voice and the rapping, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Dustin.
We
Are we-
should
are we
really
done?
end
Yes.
this.
Yes,
I
I
think,
think
we've,
we're done.
I think we've hit delirium.
Delirium.
Let's stick a
rambles.
fork in it and call it done.
All right.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our extra long episode of the Nerd Effect this week. We had a lot to fucking talk about, obviously, except for Nikki, who
I got a Wii balance board today, and I'm excited about that. I mean, that's what 10-year-old advancements in gaming technology.
Well, this is a good example of you don't have everybody's got their own nerd.
It's true.
So like Nikki knows everything about kitties and sewing and knitting and crocheting and
I'm a
homesteading.
fairly decent comic book nerd too.
A comic book
Decent.
nerd.
I just,
Nerdcore.
I mean, we had a regular Nintendo, and then nothing until I got my brother's hand-me-down PlayStation. So, other than arcade games, I never really got all that into like console gaming. So.
That'd be funny if they would have.
So, if I
mentioned
win
it.
the lottery, I'll buy you a
Okay.
computer also, so you can
Yeah.
so you can do computer gaming.
Yeah, I had missed.
Well, I'm just saying computers are superior.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a mention if they ever released a new Myst game.
Hey guys, we're killing the show.
Right.
Never. No such thing. Anyway. Alright, well, for the Nerd Effect Podcast, we have been.
Makamogan.
Mason, Ireland.
Nikki Sleepy Brindle.
And by all means, please, let us know your favorite hits and misses from E3. We want to hear about them.
Yes.
You know where to find us. I'm not even going to fucking mention it. And finally, I am Dustin Vancouver. And for those about to nerd,
We
salute
salute you.